Welcome everyone to the ASV experience. I'm your host ASVP, and we probably had the most extreme rules pay-per-view to date. Pretty lackluster. Nothing was really happening on this show. Couldn't really get into it. It was just like a normal Raw. If anything, a normal Raw could have actually been better. The two matches which stand out are probably Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship and the swamp match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. But starting it off, we'll go with the pre-show. We have Kevin Owens quickly beating Buddy Murphy. They had a little bit of a feud with each other. KO beats him. He's probably on to Seth on the next Raw. He's probably going to turn on to Seth. We'll see what happens with that. But starting off the show, we had Cesaro and Nakamura taking on the New Day for the championship titles. Now, you put this to paper. You got Shinsuke, one of New Japan's Pro Wrestling's best wrestlers. Yes, Cesaro, probably the strongest pound-to-pound wrestler and probably the most underrated wrestler for, this decade. Take it on the New Day, which, always step up to the plate. Always, provide a great match at a pay-per-view. They all deserve all credits. Now, it was a tables match. And the finish was cool for the match. It was, Cesaro, putting Kofi through two tables that are stacked on each other, powerbombing him through. And it looked cool. But the rest of the match wasn't. It was pretty slow. Nothing was really happening. It's not like you just couldn't get engaged to it, and you just watch it and you think the thoughts that you have to yourself, like, look at these four competitors, as if they can't provide like a half an hour great match. It was just a rough match. Didn't even see the New Day losing their titles. I thought they would have retained. But, it gives a good opportunity for Cesaro and Nakamura to do something for a bit. We'll see what they can do, which is a plus out of this. And yeah, next up we got Nikki Cross taking on Bayley for the Women's Championship. And decent match. To be honest, the women's matches were pretty decent. It was a decent match. Nikki Cross, this is her first big break. She was trying her hardest, but, Bayley, with the interference of Sasha, gets the win. And Bayley retains. Then after that, we had Seth Rollins taking on Rey Mysterio for an eye match. Now, I actually had high hopes for this match. And I actually wanted this match to be great. Because I really like Seth, especially his Messiah gimmick. And Rey Mysterio, I really like, what he's doing now. Trying to help Dominic go through and all that. Now, the thing with this match is, where was Buddy Murphy? Where was Austin Theory? Where was Aleister Black? Dominic. I wanted more of a suspenseful match that, not necessarily they have to, do outstanding moves and all that, but, just try to put some suspense into there to be like, is his eye going to go? Is it not? They did do a little back and forth, Rey Mysterio, hitting him on the corner of the announce desk and Seth checking his eye, but he was okay. Seth trying to get the kendo stick in his eye, which was pretty sick. There was a mad spot with, on the turnbuckle where you put the kendo stick Seth and he tried to pull Rey's face through it. It was pretty cool. But it was just, it wasn't that suspenseful, and the ending was shocking. Rey hit his eye onto the corner step. Seth was looking at him. When he turned around, Seth supposedly looked at his eye, which was, I had no clue what would have happened to it. And, Seth starts vomiting. And to be honest, I don't think anyone would want that to happen. For to see the ending of a match like that, especially Seth, vomiting. Um, what can you do after that? I guess the card went up and up from here. We got Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Women's Raw Championship title. It was actually a good match, back and forth. Anything Asuka does is great, Her and Charlotte are literally on a level that no other, women's superstar can actually get to it. To me, Charlotte and Asuka are probably, up there with them two being both the greats, and then the rest are all behind. But it was actually a decent match. At the end of it, Asuka tries to miss Sasha, but Sasha ducks down. Asuka gets the ref. The ref goes, he's going on the floor like he's been shot. Bayley comes in, hits Asuka with the championship title. Then she rips off the ref's shirt, and you're like, what the hell's happening? And she actually puts it on, and she gets Sasha. She puts her on Asuka. It counts 1, 2, 3. No one does anything. Bayley goes up to the where the ring announcer sits, tells him to hit the bell. Tells him that Sasha's won the match. He hits the bell. Bayley gets the belt, gives it to Sasha, and then they run off. So obviously they're going to continue this feud with them on Raw. Pretty cool to see. Hopefully, he grows and grows to see something better. Then we had Drew taking on Dolph. And Dolph's stipulation was he can do whatever he wants, He can do extreme, he can do whatever. But Drew has to have a normal match. And I actually like that. It was something like no one actually would have predicted. It's something no one would have predicted. Everyone was thinking, oh, is it going to be just a traditional TLC match? Is it just going to be an extreme match? No one predicted that Drew was gonna wrestle a normal match, but Dolph is gonna have an extreme match. I actually really like that idea and concept. However, because he was taking on Dolph, we all know Dolph, just doesn't get that main event push, and Drew wins and he retains the title, which is well deserved. It was a good match, to be honest. Then after that, we had our main event: Braun taking on Bray Wyatt at the Swamp. And, at the start of it was pretty cool to see. Braun was, coming through and he's like, I'm back home. Like, what do you want from me? Come on, don't be a jerk, blah, blah, blah. Bray's trying to tell him, Braun, just come with us and all that. Bray's, playing mind tricks on him. They're having a bit of a tussle. At one stage, Bray puts him in like a barn, takes out a snake. Then there comes like another scene with Braun going to Alexa Bliss with Bray coming out and trying to attack him. Then we had Bray on a little boat going in the sea by himself, going on the swamp by himself. In the end of it, we had Braun in the water. And Bray in the water in the swamp, trying to wrestle each other, but Braun actually takes him down, leaves him in there, and then at the end we get to the cutscene. WWE put their little stamp to show that the show's ended, and Braun just standing there. Then Bray comes out of the water, gets him, picks him up, throws him in. They have like a little feud, and Bray tries to get out of the water, but he can't. He gets pulled back in. Then out of nowhere, the water goes red, and there comes out the Fiend, and you hear the words "Let me in." Pretty cool to see actually that ending. So yeah, it wasn't actually bad. I really enjoyed it. But you can see that Bray has learned a lot off Matt Hardy when he was there. It's very similar how Bray and Matt Hardy films his stuff, and how they do different scenes in a matter of seconds just to intertwine with everything. But yeah, it was pretty good. Can't wait to see what else is like. With their feud. Now it's obviously going to be the Fiend taking on Braun. Uh, you know, will Braun be able to overcome the Fiend? I don't think so. I reckon Bray can beat him. The Fiend, but also maybe the Fiend won't actually beat Braun because the Braun and Fiend don't really have anything to do with each other. Don't know yet. I can't wait to see what happens. So yeah, that's the Extreme Rules review. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys liked it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Deuces.